Happy Friday, everybody. So hopefully everybody's weeks went really well. Today's video is titled Walking Down the Bakery Aisle, and I'm talking about it because it's something I did today, and probably for like at least the 100th time in my life, maybe that many, I don't know, probably if not, then getting close to it. Walking down the bakery aisle. It's a little ritual I have when I go grocery shopping. It's silly, but actually I think it's been really helpful for these last several years that I've been doing this. So when I go grocery shopping, I tend to, of course, like to stay to the perimeter. Well, it's just that roll. Sorry if that's loud. I guess it suddenly is breezy. So I usually like to stay to the perimeter, you know, go down the produce, down the meat section, up by the frozen and the refrigerated stuff. But quite often, if not always, I take a little detour down the bakery aisle. And the reason for that is because baked goods are my weakness. Yes, I love cookies, donuts, cake, and frosting. Oh my gosh, yeah, those are my absolute weaknesses. And, do I allow myself to eat these things? Yeah, just not that often. And if I do, now the portions are like really small, and then I don't feel quite as guilty about it. But either way, I like to go down the bakery aisle, look at the things, drool at them. Actually, now they're sometimes labeling like the donuts with how many calories they are, or like the muffins with how many calories or whatever they are, and it's like, oh gosh, if I eat this, that's that many more calories. Oh, that's terrible, you know? So it's like kind of a turn off now. But I do kind of love walking down the bakery aisle, looking at all the pretty colors and like how thick that frosting looks. It's terrible. But I do it anyways, almost every single time I shop, because I get this awesome feeling of like self-satisfaction when I can walk away from the bakery aisle with nothing in my cart from that aisle. And then it's like, okay, I can proceed with my shopping, I am good. It's like this weird ritual I have, and I've been, like I said, doing it for years. And I think that it's somehow done something to my mind a little bit to help me build up willpower. I would consider myself as having really good willpower now. I know some people who absolutely don't. You know, one look at anything that's like bad for you and it's like, oh, I must have this. And I absolutely was like that too. And you know, I'm human too. You know, I'm not perfect. Of course, every so often I'll be like, ooh, I want that. So then, you know, it's like, okay, well now I've got this little internal struggle going. Do I allow myself a little bit? Have I earned it? Have I been really super good this week? Okay, just a little bit. And then I don't feel too guilty. So I mean, like, yeah, I'm gonna be human every once in a while. I'm not perfect. But anyways, so basically what I wanted to talk about in this video is how you can increase your willpower so that every single time you're not feeling like you're failing, okay? So anyways, in my last live video, I talked a little bit about chocolate chips, about how, or actually no, it wasn't, it was a post. It was like the 10 ways to cut your calories and cut your costs. And I talked about using chocolate chips as a dessert. And so I was like, oh yeah, you know, it's kind of a psychological thing. That, you know, you eat this, you munch on it, you know, you're having that sweet flavor in your mouth, and then after that extended time, one push at a time, the craving has gone, and you've only consumed like 80 calories if you've stuck to the serving size. Kind of a neat trick. So it's kind of like that, where, you know, if you keep practicing that resisting temptation, it eventually gets much better. Oh yeah, I don't shop at Costco, Lynn, but it is, yeah, it's here somewhere, I'm sure. I usually just stick to like Walmart and Wegmans and stuff, but yeah, large muffins are a problem. I like the ones at Tops the most. Pistachio and chocolate or double chocolate chip, yeah, tough. But I've actually started cutting them in 4s. So it's like 100 calories instead of 400 or whatever. But yeah, thanks for saying that. Anyhow, so anyways, yeah, so I wanted to talk. Yeah, we do have Sam's Club. I don't have a membership, but yeah, I'm sure it's probably a similar issue. Anyhow, so I wanted to basically, you know, talk about like the different types of ways that, you know, you have temptation in your life. Obviously, food is like the biggest one that people think about, and you know, it comes to mind first. But also, you know, think about like shopping, or if you have a fitness regimen, Yeah, I hear you. Or if you have a fitness regimen and you're like, I don't feel like it today, and you're tempted to just like put it aside. So it's kind of like a negative temptation. So like you have this thing that you know is good for you, and then you're tempted to just not do the thing. So we can call that like a negative temptation instead. So anyhow, there are a lot of distractions today. That's okay. It's Friday. I'm not super focused either. Okay, so I want you to try a little something, because here it is. It is Friday, right? Not super focused. The weekend sometimes is even worse. So you're coming upon a Saturday, you're coming upon a Sunday, it's beautiful weather, it's like feeling like early summer. I want you to try a little exercise this weekend. If temptation's like a tricky thing for you, I want you to be super good about one thing that you're tempted by. So like, say it's like, ooh, we just passed this ice cream place, and keep driving. Or Sam's Club and there's all this really, really great stuff. Yes, I'm gonna keep driving, or I'm gonna go there and look and not actually buy something. Do something and resist the temptation for something that may not be good for you, your stomach, your wallet, But then, at the same time, sure, yeah, eating after dinner, yeah, absolutely. Just walk away from that temptation. But then, this weekend, pick a temptation, one that's maybe not too bad, and give in to it. This is an experiment. So, here's what I want you to try. Give in to one temptation and resist another. But compare those experiences side by side in your mind. And I want you to observe what it is you feel. How did you feel after giving in to that temptation? I'll bet it felt really great for like a little while. Maybe for as long as that taste has been in your mouth. Or for as long as you played with that new thing that you got. I don't know. Just, figure out how you felt. Okay, especially if it was like one of those ones where it's like, I shouldn't do this. Pay attention to how you felt. And then pay attention to how you felt after the initial reward. Did it just like not feel great? Did that not feeling great like last a while? Did you like start to just kind of pick apart at your own thoughts a little bit and be like, shouldn't have. Shoot. Did it just grate away at you for a little while? Then, examine that other experience. How did you feel after you walked away from that temptation? Probably kind of didn't feel great for like a few seconds, but then suddenly it was like, yes! I just walked away from that temptation. I feel good. And then every single time you think about walking away from that bad temptation, you feel good again, and you feel good again, and you feel good again. That feeling of happiness, of self-satisfaction, lasts far longer. The pain that it took to walk away from it initially doesn't last very long, but the happiness that lasts afterward lasts much, much longer. Try that experiment. See if I'm right, okay? I'll bet I am. I'll bet listening to this, you're probably like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But try it. Experience that for yourself, just so you can get familiar with what that feels like. Because if you want to resist temptation with other things, like eating something you shouldn't be eating after dinner, eating, I don't know, too much of a portion size, going up for seconds, or just those things that you shouldn't do, that you're trying to stay away from, when you're faced with those experiences in real life. And I'm going to give you an example. I'm going camping next weekend. Yes. I have a plan for meal prep. I went shopping today, like I said, and got all the stuff I'm going to need for next weekend. All super healthy stuff. Like, I'm happy about it. I'm ready to go. But, there is totally an ice cream place in the campground. And their ice cream's good because I ate it just once, last season. Yeah, their flavors are great. I had my bakery aisle experience walking by the ice cream stand last time I was camping a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh, look at the flavors. But you know what? It's going to be like, okay, I'm going to be faced with this temptation experience next week. I'm going to do it, okay? So then I have to bank on that willpower type skill that I've built up this last time, okay? So I'm going to be right there with you too, okay? But like next weekend. Hopefully I'm good this weekend. Okay, so then basically the next step to making this willpower skill even better after experiment, is to start a list, a daily list. One sheet of paper will last you like a month, maybe 2 months, okay? Number 1, day 1, willpower, day 1. Put today's date. maybe, do this before going to bed, or do this when you're like, okay, done eating for the day, cut off. And then be like, today I resisted this temptation. Today I looked at a muffin and decided not to eat it. Today I drove past Tim Hortons and got a black coffee, or a coffee with something that's not going to impact me very much, rather than an ice cap, okay? So, like, just those little things, that one thing that you did better on day 1. Okay, day 1's done. Day 2, Tuesday, whatever. Okay, today I had only, like, a palm size of meat rather than a huge thing, I guess, or instead of 2 pieces of meat or something like that, okay? You did that one thing, okay? If you are good at doing that one thing each day, which probably this totals maybe even 5 minutes, let's say 3 minutes to actually resist the temptation, and then 2 minutes at the end of the day to just, like, write it down on your list. Guaranteed, when you revisit that thought, when you revisit that way that you resisted that temptation, that feels good, okay? That's going to be like, ooh, self-satisfaction, I did this. And, well, because you revisit it, you get to re-experience that self-satisfaction again. I could see that every day that goes by that you fill up this list, it's going to feel better and better and better. You're going to look forward to making this list. It's going to be like you're doing this game with yourself. That, okay, what am I going to resist today? What am I going to be able to put down on my list? Hey, look at this. I am awesome. I just beat this temptation. And then you'll start to see that resisting temptation gets much, much easier. It's an interesting game that you can play with yourself, but with rewards that will add up in pounds lost. Okay? Potentially. Or however it is that you decide to apply yourself this way. So, just a little challenge to put upon yourself, this weekend. Start with the experiment first, just so you can see what this is all about, especially if you've never tried to do, like, a willpower type of challenge before, because it's interesting, it really is. It's like my walking down the bakery aisle at Wegmans or Tops, like any place, really. See, at our local Walmart, the bakery aisle is, like, way off to the side, so I just kind of avoid it and, like, no harm done. But, like, those other ones, it's, like, right there, and I want to see what they have, like, the pretty colors and smell frosting, and yeah. But that's how I did it. But, think about how that looks for you, and think about then what it might feel like to always be able to resist temptation and always choose the better habit. I guarantee it's probably going to be something that you're going to kind of enjoy. All right? So, if you've watched this, or if you come back and watch this, tell me, go ahead and rant to me again. I'm going to call another rant here. What is your biggest weakness? Put it in the comments. I'm curious to see how many people say the same thing. All right? And until I see you next, enjoy your weekend. Good luck.